If I was a question, would you be my answer? If I was the music, would you be the dancer? If I was the student, would you be the teacher? If I was the sinner, would you be the preacher? Would you be my...
Open mic crew, what it do? We are back, y'all.
What up, what up?
It's almost been a month, I think. Last time,
yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, this is episode number 62, and we are Valentine's Day, the 14th, 2019.
Much love. How do they do it out there in the world? I've seen it done 101 times, but that's the first time.
Yeah, that little heart shit, yeah. It's good to be back, y'all, man. I took a lot of time off. Johnny bugged out, and I did one podcast since he was gone, and I was like, I'm just really not feeling it. You know what I mean?
When you're not, dude.
Yeah, and I've preached many times. I'm not going to do a podcast if I ain't feeling it. You know, we've done a year and a half or so we need. I think a break like that was good. You know what I mean?
For sure. You know, like in everything, when you get that little discord from it all, and you rethink, adjust. And you come back at it, it always feels right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And,
please, my good man. Please.
So, like I said, it's been about a month. So, and I'll let you pour it. I don't know how much you want. And I even said I think I'm gonna end it because I'm doing this whole fireman thing and being busy with the church.
Life changes.
Yeah, life was going on. So I was like, I think it's time to end this podcast. I think it ran its course. But I gotta say, there was a huge outreach from a lot of messages from all you guys. And humbly from around the world saying, man, don't do that, man. It's fun to listen to y'all guys. Keep going. If you got it in you, keep going. And so here we are, man. We'll see what happens after this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, each one has its own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Johnny was on a trip to the Philippines, so let's hear about it, bro.
The world is grand out there, dude. While there's all these trials and tribulations everywhere you look, like humanity itself, the people are looking each other in the eyes, the face, and smiling and doing their best with each. Even though they got these different forms and powers like pushing and like telling them what to do and whatnot. I think the people as a whole, dude, like everywhere I went, because I stopped in 4 different, it was a long flight. I had layovers in Hawaii.
We'll start from the beginning. Where happened? You left. You went to San Antonio.
Yeah, man. So I sometimes. People like to do their own thing, you know what I mean? They go to a travel agent or they get someone that is seasoned in this type of thing, and they already they kind of make up their whole trip for them. They give them a roundabout
itinerary.
An itinerary. They kind of tell them I want to do this, I want to see this, whatever, and then someone else handles it. I've always been my own travel agent. You know what I mean? I know where I want to go. I kind of have an idea of the things I want to see or what are the possibilities and all that, and I work around with that. And I myself just spend my own time getting, my own knowledge or adept with the roundabouts of whatever town or city I might be going to. So I've already while I was looking, they mentioned this highlight. While I was looking, they talked about this highlight. So it's all coming in your own periphery, to learn the knowledge of where to go when you're going.
Did you go by yourself?
No. So I technically this time I left and I went and I stayed by myself, but I teamed up with Bob and the whole regular crew, the usuals, right? Like his dad,
the Cabanas, what up?
Yeah, the Cabana crew. His uncle. He had a buddy this time where the dad showed up, so it was a little different grouping. But I met them there, so it was my own in the Philippines, already there. Yeah, so I went on the whole trip, if you will, on my own, which is a different.
A lot of people watching.
Yeah, a whole lot of people watching. Shitloads in every different aspect. You get the fucking people that are rushing by. You get the people that are kind of cruising. They're more time on their hands. The other, the ones that are rushing by, they're obviously trying to get somewheres, not no time. And
what is your flight attire? What do you fly? There's a lot of people who do the slip-ons with fucking sweatpants and shit. And then there's people with suits.
Yeah.
Take it serious.
I myself, before this trip, I like to dress real comfortably, loose. So I usually wear my normal gear, some baggy shorts, a baggy shirt, and then I'll pack a coat or a heavier sweater or something like that. And then I like to wear my long socks, my hunting socks, once I'm on the plane. Because in the plane it gets cold.
Does it?
Heavy
cold.
Oh,
yeah, you're way the fuck
You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah, and So they're pumping in all this like fake oxygen.
Pressurized.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And they get AC going because people themselves, like not everyone is hip to, you know, bathing right off the bat or who knows what it, you know, people, all different types, you know.
So it's fair, I've never flown, so it's fair to say that the plane is going to be filled with smells.
Oh yeah.
So that's
a wide array of smells, dude, okay. For sure. You're going to catch aromas from the baby oil lady, you know what I mean? You'll smell that, right? Like you'll catch the hippie with the patchouli. You'll walk by the fucking sect of groups that could care less about bathing, and you get the BO,
the curry guys.
It's not always just them, dude. You know, I find that there's a lot of people that could care less about their own.
Well, Brad Pitt, he's openly stated that he doesn't shower regularly. He doesn't like to take the natural scent off of.
Well, there you go. So I've known plenty of people that utilize that as a thing that like, no, it's your own natural oils and minerals that are emitting from you that are what keeps you radiant, and you're just washing that off every time you bathe. And there's some merit to that. You know what I mean? But there's also people that have like a heavy degree of muskiness or oiliness or all those things that they're, you know, jiving on. Some people fucking exude that at a whole nother level. Like
step up the bar.
Yeah, like he wouldn't have a shame if I spit him out right now or shouted him out. Q, fucking Quincy, dog. Like he just on a whole nother level with his perspiration, dude. You know what I mean? Ever since we were young, I remember walking the streets just from fucking Colton's house to his, dude. I remember the dude would break a sweat like nobody's business, bro.
I could see that.
Right? And so everyone their own self, how they perspire, how they keep themselves, and so like that dude, you know what I mean? Or not him specifically, but a person with that like a heavier of a perspiration factor should be, I think, apt to like get rid of a few oils and essences, you know what I mean? To the person who doesn't perspire as much or has, you know, like that different end of the spectrum style of a body. You know, like there is.
I'm a regular shower, and I don't think it ain't because I have a BO or nothing. I just.
You just like it.
Yeah.
Me too.
I just shower.
There's a certainness to. I could go a little while. You know, I could go full on a whole 24, maybe 48 hours, right? And it's not that bad.
Man, 2 days. I wonder what that'd be like. But I haven't done that.
That's it. You know what I mean? That's a situation where I kind of have to.
Yeah, because you're out there.
And other situations where it's like not too heavy of perspiring, no movement going on. I'm just kind of cruising, right? It's not like a real heavy workload where I got any fatigue or anything like that. So I don't feel like I got anything of my, you know, like functioning, going strong, like flakes of my skin popping off as it should be, all that type of stuff. It's just everything's just sitting because I'm sitting, right? Like so, in that sense, I don't feel uncomfortable not showering. But if it's been one of those days where you're out in the muck and the mire, like grinding it out, and it's time to like cruise, settle down for the night, and I hadn't bathed,
you don't feel right?
I don't feel right.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I might not sleep. You know what I mean? I'll just, the ick, the stick, you know what like. So there's another thing too. If I can wing it with long sleeves and not and like as I touch myself, not feel the stick, it's probably not as as
mentally.
Yeah. It's something I can block out maybe.
Right.
But definitely feeling that stick through the night, I gotta wash off.
So how long was that flight?
30.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, 24. Plus, like call it 26 hours.
Damn.
Oh, the whole straight, not the whole flight because I had to stop. But in travel time, 26 hours, dog. It was a grueler. Time changes going that way, coming back.
Gnarly as fuck.
Yeah. Luckily,
did you go into the future or into the past?
Both times. So going into the future.
Fucking McFly.
Yeah. Going into the future, I showed up the morning that I left.
That's wild, dude. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because it's 14 hours either way, right? So, you know, like I said, I left here this time, and I got there. No, I got there the next day. I went like a since I went a whole nother time, and then when I came back, I did that. I left on the morning of the 7th or whatever, and I got back here still on the day of the 7th after flying a whole full, like I said, 30 plus hours, and it's some time. You know what I mean? Like, I do have a little bit where I can sleep here and there, but it's not. You still got to let people know that it's not like an overnight's rest. It's just pretty much to take the ease, you know. Like,
basically napping.
Yeah, yeah. Because man, you'll get some fatigue. I don't know if
they call it jet lag. Right?
Yeah. My eyes will get all like super sensitive. They already are sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I'll ask you, you know, like the wind's blowing, like whatever, right? And when you get like that, super long hours, no sleep, it comes even worse. So I'm just like.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And
seen a wild shit in that travel time.
You know what? I didn't. There was no like super hiccups.
That's good.
Yeah. Everything went pretty smooth, and that was in the middle of the shutdown too. So I gotta say, like, for as much hype as the media and like the fear factor that was going on, like there's no doubt people were losing money. You know what I mean? So that was some real deal shit.
But you wouldn't have been able to tell the difference, huh?
Yeah.
As far as the personnel.
As far as like personnel and personality and everything like that, yeah. They were all super nice. More than functionable, you know, like moving along with their stuff.
Right.
And
it was none of this. Just do whatever the fuck you
want. Nah. You know what I mean? Like
they're professionals.
Yeah, very professional still yet.
That's good.
That's good to know. Real.
Because like you said, the media made it seem like it was a clusterfuck of shit going on. You know what I mean?
I got to the airport super worried. You know, like, oh man, I'm running behind. You know, I thought I'd get some breakfast, grind super heavy, because you want to show up to those places well fed.
Right.
You know, because it's a lot of walking, 9 times out of 10, getting from gate to gate, boarding, all that type of stuff, right? And then the food functionality of the planes is, man, sometimes they're hit, sometimes they're on it, sometimes it don't show up to the last minute, and you're already hungry, and you're just like peanuts or who knows what. And then it can be pretty generic food too. You know,
fucking TV dinners and shit.
Yeah. Like
I like Hungry Man's myself. I'll be honest.
So it's more of a banquet.
Oh, that's a step down.
It's a banquet cut. You know what I mean?
That's just enough to take the appetite away, but you're still probably hungry.
Yeah, and you're looking at it like you're gonna eat
Salisbury steak and shit.
You're gonna eat what you have to. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm a picky eater. I always gotta ask that of myself. Am I asking too much in life? Like, right. You know what I mean? Like, I only want to live and I want to be healthy. Like,
I'm definitely not a picky. I'm so much not of a picky eater that, you know, people would bitch about cafeteria food at school. I liked cafeteria food at school. Yeah. I love that shit.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
There was meals that I dug. You know what I mean?
I liked a lot of it.
Yeah.
Almost 99% of it.
You know what I didn't like was Pizza Day when they did the square.
Nah, dude, that was the shit. What the fuck you talking
Square
about?
Pizza Day was a joke to me, man.
Dude, I would give my, I was about to say my left nut, but maybe not. Yeah, I had 2 kids. I'd give up my left nut for that fucking square pizza.
Yeah,
for sure.
No,
just to have a couple pieces.
It wasn't for me, dude. Something about it seemed super generic.
I liked it, man.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah. You lived for it. That was me.
You know, we used to show up early and we'd have the leftover pizza because like if we showed up early for school and we'd go hang out in the.
You get the breakfast, right? Yeah, and they'd have the pizza for breakfast.
Yeah, because it'd be the leftover from the day before. Okay, so you had your trip was that long and then you get to Philippines. What went down?
Oh man, so I wound up getting my own place.
Is that when you did you were doing your whole fucking
the Airbnb?
That was your first time?
Yeah, that was my first time. Like I had stayed with other people that had the resource, you know, utilized it and all that.
Yeah, like it was somebody else's account.
Yeah. And I just stayed with them, right? I just teamed along and I was there. But this time, since I was, like I said, kind of maneuvering on my own, I had to get my own setup, and even then, you know, like having that, like the whole time frame, all that'll have its own little like a margin of error. And that lady was super G. I got no complaints about my trip. Everything went for what there could have been for mishaps. Like apparently this place had a whole like security system and.
You had to walk in and hit the fucking code and
security personnel that like wanted, that wanted to like have my picture when I arrived, so they knew who they were looking at. And I said, "I'm me, like I'm staying here."
I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm me,
dude. It's like I'm up in this state. Like,
you know who I am?
Like,
I'm watch the Small But Mighty podcast.
No doubt. I get there and I like flubbed on that little bit. So I'm at
you didn't have a picture?
I hadn't sent her all that. You know what I mean? I sent her like where she could see my profile, but I didn't send her no like extra ID thing or anything like that. So like she could give the front desk people so they'd be cool. But
what was it? Like a big apartment complex?
Yeah, it was a condo.
Oh,
it was a condo.
So you had to check, and there was an actual fucking check-in.
Yeah, it was an actual check-in. Place had a pool, a gym, the whole nines, dude. The whole nines, bro.
So, what kind of an apartment was this? What are we talking, like fucking
it was
New York style badass?
I'm gonna say it was like
the best in kind of.
No. On a scale of like 1 to 10, for me, because I've stayed in some.
You know what good is. You worked in Hawaii. You see good shit.
It was more or less like a 6.
Decent.
But yeah, more, and I'd do it again. You know what I mean? But was it like, not that there was anything like completely wrong with the appearance, but it just wasn't super level.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was enough.
Yeah, it was more than enough for me and what I was trying to do while I was there. You know what I mean? I'm like bacheloring it up in this city, and it turns out like what they say, location, right? Like, and that where I wound up staying happened to be right in between the two spots that the people I was cruising with were staying. And
how far away were they?
A block each time.
Nice.
Yeah, a block each time. So, and then I was right next to a kind of like a real big center, a mall.
Oh,
it was
sweet.
like 4-story.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I had it made, dude.
You didn't have to waste money on taxis or nothing?
Like this trip went so amazing.
Well, you know what's fucked up about that though? Because now your next one's gonna go completely.
You know what? That's. I'm already working on the next one, and there's always that possibility.
Dude, I gotta go on one of these motherfuckers.
Bro, you should. You really should.
Once I get all my fireman shit, all that kind of shit worked out, dude, I gotta go. Because I've never traveled the world.
Yeah, it's
Debbie, let us come stay in Canada with you.
Canada's the shit too. Yeah, like I hope. Every time, like no, I have a good time when you go to Canada.
I've heard, dude. I've heard really.
So like we went in, and this was way before weed was even legal there, dude. Way before it was. In fact, it was still being frowned upon, right? We showed up in this city though. In the BC area, it's still a very huge niche, but it was still like frowned upon by, if you will, the to-doers of society.
Right, yeah.
So we show up and we're like looking around. We're at Whistler.
This is in Canada.
This is in Canada. We're at a resort, right? And they pretty much just said, go to this square. You'll know who to ask.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, search around. Because we showed up with nothing. We showed up like...
So was it that easy? Were you just scanned?
It was, we were cruising.
Dude in dreads or something? Or
we said, hey, what's up with you, homie? What's up with you? Well, you know what? A lot of people were on their way to go do other things. And they'd catch us if they were on the way back. They'd totally fucking like hook us up, right?
So how did that work?
That's what we kept getting. Well, we caught this one dude who of all like he was a Chilean cat, dude, on a work visa up there doing his thing. He's coming from somewheres, and we tell him what's up, what we're doing. He's like, yeah, come to my place, and I hooked us up, juicy, like mad kind.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, well we on the way back, like trying to get out of the country, we had to throw some of it away.
Damn.
Yeah, dog.
That's always a sad state.
It isn't it? Canada's the jam, especially now that it's legal there, dude. For me, it's I totally go back. You should in any tag along anywheres with me, dude. Like,
I want to. I need to.
I say for like oneself, just to have an idea of. Because you enjoy cultures, you know what I mean.
I'm very open-minded,
and to gather that much more on other people's cultures, bruh, you'll feel like the whole fucking like globe and
that's
shit.
what I'm lacking.
Yeah.
You know, I'm lacking that travel experience. I'm lacking that cultural experience. Even though I'm so open to everything, I've never experienced. Like for instance, you know what we need to do is even get Bob's on this is fucking Brazil. Or wherever they do that fucking ayahuasca, and we all go to a ayahuasca trip.
Yeah.
They say it is life changing.
Peru. You wanna know where I saw they did it? Where they do it like the most legit is they go up to Lake Titicaca.
That fucking one I recorded.
Exactly the one you recorded for me, dude. James Wade. Oh, David Wade. Fucking something Wade. Anyways, he's an anthropologist, dude. Goes around. Like checks out all these ancient versions of hallucinogens, pathways to the other world, or just to becoming a man, right? Like like the Indians, they would set out, go ahead and do the peyote trip just to become a man, right? Like so he's studied all these different forms of
hallucinogens.
Yeah, in different, if you will, things that take you on that path.
Mushrooms, LSD, ayahuasca, peyote. I mean, that's just...
And he did, and so he was telling his version of ayahuasca, right? And to him, it was the realest. It was like the most legit shit ever. He went like deep into his own self. Like he could see his most infinitesimal state, like that he could recall. Yeah, and so the whole trip was from then on out. From that state, like from where he saw himself as an infant, like he lived all these like ups and downs, these like fucking roller coasters of his life, where he was not just like the best person in the world to someone, like he just taught a kid to ride a bike, right? And that kid's now
he saw it in his mind,
right,
it was all in his mind.
Where
lived it,
relived it all to his like lowest moment, where someone needed something from him, and he like snaked him out of it. You know what I mean? And he was like highs and lows and backs and forths, and just a whole new wherewithal of himself.
You know what's really crazy?
I'm with that, dude.
To do that?
Yeah. I'm with that so hardcore.
You know,
I wanted to do it even before it went like pop and mainstream.
Yeah.
Because I hear all these people like
now you got yuppies from Austin doing that.
Yeah.
Shit, you know
and those guys just want to fuck chicks, dude. Those guys like just want to.
They're like the
come listen to me fucking bang the bongo and stroke the guitar
and dulcimer or whatever that is.
I want to go like some shaman where they're gonna like take you into the fridges of the water, and you're gonna be like trying to overcome it all.
You know what's really cool about those ayahuasca trips is that like for instance, let me give you my take on a story that I heard of a guy doing it, and he said he did it and just lived a whole life.
Yeah.
He lived a whole life, had an apartment, lived a whole life from
but not his.
From child. No, it was him.
Okay.
From child, but not reliving it.
Not reliving it like James, like the Wade guy. I'm saying.
Yeah, he didn't relive what he already done. It was a whole completely different life.
Wade Davis.
From baby to old man and
Wade Davis.
Shut up. Yeah. But yeah, this guy lived from a baby to old man. Lived this life in this hallucinogenic state.
Wow.
And he comes out of it and asks his friend, fuck, how long was I out of it? The dude was like, for like 30 seconds. So for that 30 seconds of that trip on ayahuasca, he lived a whole life.
Right.
80 years or whatever it was.
Yeah, I'm so with that.
How amazing would that be?
That would be, that's what I'm saying about when you go out and you get to feel all these other people's energy. And we use simple terms like culture. You get to know their way of life. You know what I mean? But like in essence, like what you're getting is their vibe, right? Their energy.
Absolutely.
And you get another level to yourself.
It's like when you go to Mexico.
An expansion. You know what I mean? It's something.
Sure.
And to me, like. Bro, and so the ayahuasca thing,
it's like a puzzle piece that all of a sudden gets onto you.
Like while I get all those, I feel like you take on so much too, and at some point it becomes its own. What's that fucking puzzle? Rubik's Cube. It becomes its own like Rubik's Cube of where you know what I mean. You got to start to try to put it together, and like sometimes that's where people get all like fucking crazy, like trying to like understand themselves and like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I think the ayahuasca would help. You know what I mean?
Sure. I think we gotta do it.
Yeah. I'm with that, dude.
It's a bucket list.
I'm fucking with that all
we
the
gotta
way.
do it. We gotta do it before we're old. You know,
for sure.
Like we're still in our 30s. We gotta do it before 50s. For sure.
I go before
45.
Yeah, I'm down, dude. Like if we could get that plan to be like in the 2020 round.
You know what would be cool is if we can go to that area, to that area of the world, and we do that, and we also fucking go check out some Mayan ruins and shit, Aztec ruins. Do all that at one time, because I want to do that too. Yeah. Okay, man, we got off on a tangent on that.
Totally tangented it up.
Okay, so you get to...
But not as knowledge for folks that have never heard of ayahuasca.
People like it.
And
that's the point of a podcast.
Yeah, you know and like what I'm saying is, there now that it's almost mainstream in a sense. You know, like I hear some fucking pretty lame folks talking about it. You know what I mean? That I'm like... And who am I to judge?
Like those yoga motherfuckers.
Yeah. Like who? You know, they're all on their own spiritual journey too, right? Yeah. But to me, like if you're really on a real journey, like you're going to you don't look for it as close as you could get it. Like, oh, you can do this just around the corner. No, like it's like they say, when in Rome, right? You do what Rome like. You gotta go where the getting's good. You don't just fucking like, oh, this guy's doing it here.
Yeah,
like,
let's go to the 34th Street.
Yeah. Nah, you gotta go to the fucking like the hut. Like the source, dude.
Yeah, man, for sure. It's like if you want to go eat Chinese food, yeah, we can go down Milam or down Main Street and go get to the Panda. But man, how great would it be to go to fucking China?
Bro, it's legit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've ducked through some back alleys and like found a spot, and it was killer food.
Exactly.
That was to me like really getting some true blue like Chinese.
It's like
food.
going to Mamacita's and then you're like, you know what? You end up going to Progreso across the border and you're fucking you're in this little fucking taqueria, you know, and you're like, oh wow, this is fucking legit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a family, like a real family.
And not saying that all these people don't do it right, if you will, you know what I mean? Like Pandas, Mamacitas, you know what I mean?
Delicious. I love it. Shout out to Panda. Karen, what's up, girl?
But like, you know what I mean? When you're on a real hunt, dude, like you said, you go to where the getting's, you know, you got it. So I'm down to go to there and get that really done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So all right. So let's keep going with this Philippines. So you get to the Philippines. You feel like you're in a nice little area.
Yeah, I got my zone down, right?
You meet up with the fellas. What do y'all do?
Right then and there.
Y'all went to cockfights, huh?
Oh, for sure. We went hard and heavy at the cocking, dog. Like first off, we went to the expo. The expo is an extravaganza of everything cocking. You know what I mean? Like from some of the sexiest girls on the planet, like
no shit.
Yeah, just holding out gear, whatever it may be, right? Like,
oh man, I should have called your ass because I would have told you to bring me a shirt.
Oh, you know what? I got a shirt for you, dude.
I ain't gonna fit in your fucking size.
Well, I got a hat for you, dude.
Oh, bitch! By the way, I got some coveralls for you, man.
Oh, sweet.
Some dope ones.
I did coveralls.
I ended up fucking getting the wrong size, and I was trying to zip, and I was like, fuck, it ain't getting past my tits. And I was like, fucking, I have to get it with Johnny.
You know how much,
motherfucker, I know that.
You know how much I've lucked out on clothes like that?
Yeah.
A lot of times, dude.
A lot of times. Because you got that perfect size. Like you're
like the way shit's cut.
You got a great average size. You're like, 65, 165. You're in that perfect. You got a good height on you. You're about 5'9" to 5'7", and like you got that good size where people are like me that have that fucked up Bulldogs type of body where I buy a shirt, I'm like, fuck, it didn't fit me. You're the guy that always gets it, you know what I mean? So these coveralls are dope.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Sweet.
Asshole.
That's a score and a half.
Don't fucking wear them around me.
Don't wear them around me.
Okay,
Make sure you wear them so far away.
Yeah. So the cockfighting is...
and to me, it's at its realest, you know what I mean? It's totally legit. It's held in big venues. We went to one venue where it's actually held in like a classic style theater where this theater from any day to day could be hosting
an actual play.
Yeah, an actual play, the Phantom of the Opera.
Wow.
Like when this week that we go, the extravaganza's fucking...
That is awesome.
Yeah, dude. And
awesome.
I'm telling you, like high end. It's in the premier casino. all like legit.
So when you go into these places, you having to show ID, or they don't give a fuck?
No, as long as you're old enough, and then you'll have to keep presenting that you've paid to get in, right? Like they'll either give you a tag.
Money talks, bullshit.
Yeah,
talks.
exactly. And 9 times out of 10, you know, like your clothes will set you apart. Not to say that you show up just automatically wearing American clothes, you look like the richest, because there's people wearing just as nice clothes. But the case is that the people wearing nice clothes to the people wearing shitty clothes is very evident. So right off the bat, you wearing clean, nice clothes stands out.
And what is there an advantage or a disadvantage to that?
Right, it's like people saying that there's no such thing as white privilege, dude.
So there is
there's a complete advantage to looking nice, clean cut. Everyone gets out of your way.
No.
People are opening doors.
Wow.
Security guards are blasé. You know what I mean? Like, you might not have to be as like you said about showing ID or, bro. You look clean. You're already on the fucking list.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
They want you in.
Yeah, exactly. You look clean, dude. You're good.
Okay.
So, like I said, money talks, dude. Or you were saying, money talks. You pay your way in. That all you gotta have is the fucking band and look good. You know what I mean? You're golden.
So besides the cockfighting, what y'all do?
We enjoy the food, right? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I
love that.
Here in the Berg, and to be honest, like in the whole given, like if you go to Houston, you'll get some like great Asian food, right?
Yeah, they got a pretty good community.
They've got strong communities.
Who'd have thought too?
They've got real strong communities of Asian cultures all around like the Houston area. So you'll get some real like solid food. And to me, like the seafood, you know what I mean? Like I went hard on that sushi, that sashimi, that tuna.
Over there?
Yeah, over there. You know what I mean? Like it's growing more and more scarce. People don't understand it, but
I just saw an article about that, dude.
There's millionaires, billionaires in this game, in this like high-end fish game that are flash freezing these fish, dude. Like, so when the time comes, which is like coinciding with the oil bang, like no one knows when it's gonna happen, so they say, but it's all coming around here.
People are thinking
soon.
it's an endless supply.
Yeah.
It's not.
Nah, so like they're like you hear about some killer like badass tuna that was caught like big that was worth money.
Some dude sold this rare tuna. I just saw it on an article that I was just telling you about. I saw a guy, they caught a very rare tuna. I can't remember what it was, but it was a very, 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 very rare fish used for sushi. They sold it for like $5 million. One fish.
Exactly.
They had an auction and everything.
Yeah. That's how they work it.
And the rich motherfucker went in there and got it.
They got big auctions. And you know what? He probably cut off a few pieces to like glamorize it, but I bet you he went and stashed that motherfucker. That to these guys, like, you know what? Because fish is a multi-commodity where like
it's like beef here.
You know what I mean? Like you can it's got a usefulness. You know, like there's some things that we value that have no fucking usefulness. Absolutely, you know what I mean? Like the dollar bill. You go back enough, people could say you could wipe your ass with that thing, right? Like, and not just any bill for any matter, right? Like any functional money.
But mainly a dollar bill.
Yeah,
it's just $1.
But I mean, like of any currency from any nation, not to just downgrade the dollar.
Real talk though, if you wiped your ass with a legit dollar bill, would it really take the shit off your ass though?
I don't think so.
It doesn't seem like it'd grab it.
It's not gonna get like that. You know that
shit.
that Charmin that's quilted and it's got the ridges.
Yeah, that's what grabs it, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what really grabs it. That's what gets it out of there.
I think I'm gonna try to wipe my ass with a dollar bill and see what happens.
You know what? You might get a paper cut, dude. And they're dirty. They're dirty.
You're right.
They're so dirty, dude.
Maybe I'll wash it. I'll wash it in my pants. I'll leave it in my pants and I'll wash it, and then I'll see if I can wipe my ass with it and see what happens. Because I would think it wouldn't work all that.
It's not gonna work. It doesn't grip right. You know how like the TP kind of envelops your hand as you go to in
like you said, it's got ridges and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the dollar it'll do better than your fingers, but right. But I don't think it's gonna work all that great.
Yeah.
So, the fish, the tuna, and all those other high-end fish, like the edibles, they have a functionality where you can actually eat it. You know what I mean? It holds like real value. So it's not like intrinsic. It's gonna only gain more as its rarity comes about, right?
Oh yeah.
So like I was there enjoying my tuna, thinking that like, you know how poor Frank's daughter the other day when we were watching.
Never seen the Richard Simmons?
Never seen the VHS. I'm gonna be grinding, or I'm gonna be throwing shade on some poor punk 20 years from now and being like, you know what? I had my share of tuna when the time was there.
Right.
So
you felt that endangered, or getting to that point?
I think you never know. You know what? Like when it comes to all that stuff, I always ask myself, like, how high is the fear mongering, and like how real is the situation? And I'm in no position to know either one of those. You know what I mean?
We're doing bro science.
Yeah, exactly. We're peons of the lowest level. You know what I mean?
But there's someone out there.
Someone knows for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he might have and he's still a peon on our lowest level, but he's just smart enough to have like worked out all the variables that start to calculate what is really going on. And me myself, I don't know. All the variables I work with are just kind of like what I see, like in the news and stupid stuff. So I don't know if I got a lot to put together, but I gather that like we're not far from either one of those happening. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed the shit out of some tuna.
So you had sashimi like a
like crazy. I think I might have given myself diarrhea. But I don't want to blame it on the sashimi alone.
It would have to be. That's a big difference in your diet.
For real, it was a huge difference in my diet.
It was clean.
But it was so clean. It was fresh, like...
I've never had sashimi.
It's delicious in its own right. You know what I mean?
Raw?
Raw. Right. Yeah, very much raw. But what you're going to do is you're going to like work it on your palate, right? And you're going to kind of taste the... It's not super strong, like, you know, when you taste other Asian foods, you know, like your generic, like American Asian foods, like your General Tso's.
Sweet and sour chicken.
Yeah, your sweet and sour chicken, your sweet and sour pork, your sweet and sour shrimp, all your sweet and sour stuff, right? Like, those are just like popping in your mouth with like strong flavors. This sashimi is going to hit you real light. You're going to have to like really get like deep into your palate, like and test your own like senses. Like, do I get anything from this? Am I like gathering it, or is it just like, you know?
So it's almost like those fucking.
Or is it all Matrix?
It's like a wine connoisseur with the wine, where they like smell it.
Yeah. Like me, I like to get like heavy wasabi on it. Like me, I like to like the way though, like once I start to really grind on it, the wasabi pops in my mouth, like, and it's just almost in my whole sinus.
I only like faint wasabi myself.
And like in my whole sinus, I get this like effect that I really enjoy.
I'm almost tempted to take your ass to the place here, because they got some sushi here, and I'd like to see. Now
I don't even waste my time.
Well, I was about to say, since you've had that, like the purest form of it, because I'm assuming that's what they.
Yeah, they be catching the hell of some tuna in the PI, dude, in the Philippines. That's what they call it for short.
Jungle Asians?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Bobby Lee.
Yeah, that's how Bobby Lee's that right there.
That's not my fault, man.
But yeah, they be catching tuna like crazy over there. You know what I mean? So it's fresh, dude. And
did you have anything else besides that?
No, yeah, I had a lot. I had like all the general Asian fare. I definitely went in on the ramen because I love me some ramen. It turns out
that's real fucking ramen.
Real ramen, not no Marukan pack. Not no like top ramen pack. I'm talking like legit ramen, like where these guys were slaving over it with the sesame seed. Cause that's my lick, dude. I like the sesame seed, that style of a broth. That's me all the way, dude.
What was the portion size?
You can get small or large. You know, and if it's general, it's a good portion. It's like a medium-sized portion. If there's no choice, it'll be like a medium, and it's a good-sized portion. In fact, there's no such thing as like a chinchy portion over there. Like your food for money bang, you get a whole lot. Like we went out to the equivalent of a high-end restaurant here. Like as if you were gonna go to Auguste's, dude, with the whole crew. We probably took 30 people.
And for you people who don't know what Auguste's, that's about a $35 to $50 plate for one person. So
Yeah, we took 30 people, dude. Had something you probably never even heard of, but it's a fucking killer Asian soup. It's bird's nest soup.
No, but that sounds cool.
It's killer, dude.
What is it?
It's this generic, like the old school Asian, like True Blue was somehow or another they make the noodles super fine and thin, and they bundle it up into like a bird's nest. It kind of looks like that, and it's even crisp, like a.
Hard.
It's hard. Yeah, I don't know that they fry it, but it's got like
dried, maybe.
Maybe dried. It's got like a crispness to it. Anyways, this version was similar. It had that, but it came like laden with quail eggs, dude. Yeah, talking quail eggs,
like,
baby.
Are we talking about hard boiled or
little hard boiled quail eggs? Like here in the States, you get like a quail egg soup, bro. You're talking $30, like you said. Anyway, so that was just our appetizer for everybody.
That was an appetizer.
That was an appetizer, dude. I'm telling you, we got those like yarders, the yarder drinks. You know what I mean? The big 3 foot tall beverages that like anyone can kind of like come up and pour like a slush off of, and it'll have some of them margaritas, some of them are daiquiris, some of them.
They pull up to your table with
Yeah, they just stacked them on the table. We had to keep like a few of those like stacked up, and
dude, this sounds fucking dope, dude.
$100, bro.
The whole table?
The whole table, 30 plus people. I'm telling you, meals on meals on meals. Drinks.
So how much shit did you have in that?
We had
You had a bird's nest. You had that.
We had that bird's nest.
The drinks.
We had the drinks. There was so the way they like to do it over there is just stack the table and everyone kind of picks at what they want, right? Like so I've been pretty stingy myself and gotten a plate or two for myself, but that's the way it appears, is like you're kind of stingy because this is your plate, right? Like I've done that though, because that's me. I'm a shithead. I'm a fucking asshole.
Hey, admit it is half the battle.
Yeah. Anyways, but typically what they like to do is, like I said, they'll it's a family share, so you'll order.
It's a spread.
It's a big spread. So there was like pig's feet all fried up. They call it crispy pata. The chop suey galore. There was all kinds of stuff. There was the wraps. They call them
like a spring roll.
It's like a spring roll, but they call them lumpias, and it's their own version of a spring roll, right? So there was probably all the lumpia galore you could want. I couldn't name it all, dude. If I can recall correctly.
I'm fucking jealous, dude.
Bro, you gotta roll, dude. You gotta roll.
Fucking jealous.
Every time I come back and you hit the States and you're just a regular schmo.
A little sad?
Bro, I'm heartstruck, dude. I feel like I feel downgraded in a sense. You know what I mean?
I could see that.
You know what I mean?
I could see that.
I've been to this place where they're treating me like a fucking
Because the
king.
vibe is different.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's shitty to say, but like even my poor ass, I go there like you're living like high society, dude.
No, man, I'm telling you, I understand what you're saying. Here, I'm struggling to make rent over there. I'm probably fucking
dude. You're flossing, dude. Yeah, hell yeah, for real.
Like, he P Diddy. You know what I mean?
One time,
I said he's P Diddy.
I'm gonna throw myself out there, not the crew. Me and a few of the friends had met some girls, and we're all
this trip?
No, on another trip. You know, I've been there.
Dude, 4 times, right?
Yeah, 8 or more now, dude. I had trouble counting the other day.
And it's always the Philippines. Why
that's now an annual trip. Mm-hmm. But you know me, I'd be going other places like you know, right. I went to Colorado.
But it's always Asian oriented.
Yeah. This is like my annual cocking now trip, dude. I don't know where I feel like I'm at a good place in life. You know what I mean? Like I'm not by no means fucking uber rich or nothing, but like I've afforded myself this enjoyment, this, you know what I mean?
You're doing it right
for now quite a few times.
You're doing it
like
right.
I said, I think this is my 8th trip.
There's motherfuckers worrying about making the fucking payment for their fucking Ford Fusion that their wife is driving. You know what I mean? That's the shit that they're worried about. They're worried about paying for such and such. You're experiencing things that all of us, even you that are watching, you're doing things that we all dream about, that we lay in bed and we're like, oh man, I wish I could do this. Here,
thank you, man.
You've done it. You just 8 times in a row, you know, or whatever. Like you've done those are things that we should all do, but we don't do because we're too busy worrying about stupid shit. Here I'm worrying about paying for rent for a house I don't even own. You know what I mean? I could be doing what you're doing, but I'm not. I'm fucking up. You know what I mean? And it's great to hear this trip because I'm living vicariously through it. And just like all you guys that are listening to Johnny talk about this trip, we could all do it too.
I'm not like.
No, you're not bragging.
I'm not bragging.
You're dropping knowledge.
I'm not smart in comparison to most.
He's definitely
you know
not
what
smart.
I mean?
I'm just kidding.
So I say it's possible for anyone, and I think it's so on this trip on the way out. Like when I got to Houston, I got on the plane, and I wasn't actually sitting with him. But you start like me being a people watcher, and I don't think he saw me right off.
An observer,
right? Like I saw old man in the back, right? Like, and I didn't know where he was going entirely. But next thing you know, like the flight's over 9 hours later, and we're hustling and bustling to another plane, and he catches where I'm going, and then he cues into me, and we're like fucking.
Oh, I seen that dude.
Yeah. And like so the whole trip we're like. Like on our legs, like we're not in the same seats by each other.
Yeah, we're almost traveling.
But we're almost, traveling to it. We get to the PI. He's going to the PI for his first trip ever, dude. His first real, get out of, the world trip.
Not that it's important, but what nationality is this kid?
He was white from Florida.
Right.
But he was been in the military. Older guy, yeah. Easily.
Is he by himself?
Yeah, cruising by himself, going to meet, his, future love of his life, I think, dude. Yeah, which I champion him. Good for him, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Old man, dude. Old man.
What are we talking?
I'm telling you, he had to have been
60s?
55, 60, 65, 70.
That's not old though.
I don't know, dude.
That's older. But that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's a
I don't think he was 80.
That's a trip.
But he was
that's a trip of a lifetime. You're going somewhere across the world
Bro,
for the first time.
He didn't have.
And you add love to that.
Yeah. He didn't have a plane home yet.
No.
Yeah.
Talk about gangster.
That's what I said, dog.
One-way trip, man.
One way. I was like, so how long are you here? He's like, I don't really know yet.
No.
Yeah. He was fucking.
You said he was a veteran?
Yeah, he was a veteran. He was. I want to say he was a nurse or some or a doctor.
So Army or
yeah.
Something.
I didn't. You know me. I don't give merit to, I merit the person, not just who he embolizes, right?
Nah, bro, you gotta get all those details.
For all I know, he could have been wearing an Enron hat, right? You know what I mean?
MAGA.
You know what I mean? But it was a military hat, and it said, I was.
Oh, I got you. He was wearing one of those veteran hats.
Yeah, exactly. It was
had the ribbons on.
Yeah, totally. And so I just knew, and he carried on with all the other guys. That were military along the way. And I mean, granted, I stay fit, I have the short hair. A lot of people misinterpret that.
For real. Same with me.
You wouldn't believe how many times it happens, it's just...
People think we're veterans.
Served military. I'm military in some sense.
I get that all the time.
A chick even asked me one time, just saw me, and she's like, oh, are you in the military? And I was like, why would she just straight out
ask that? It's our haircuts.
And 9 times out of 10, I think that's what it is.
It has to be, because I get the same thing, and that's the only common denominator between me and you is we both have our haircuts.
Yeah. And so, for all I know, he could have thought maybe I was too, but we carried on really well. And I lost him once we got in, and he's trying to change money. I was getting a new phone, so on and so forth. So I lost him, but I wanted to keep in touch, to try to, because it's like anywhere in the world, right? It's a get money process, right? So there's guys out there that are trying to get paid, and now they might be doing
shady. You mean
shady? Okay. Def guarantee you shady. Because there's a going rate for things, and these guys are taxing people that don't know the going rate for things.
It's like when you go to Mexico and you buy something and you don't know what the pesos are. They'll get an extra 10 out of you.
For anywheres, you know what I mean? The common misconception is that you're here to spend money, you've got money to spend. So they're just trying to get. They're not holding you up at gunpoint.
No.
So it's on you.
And they're smiling at you.
Yeah. And so it's on you to be savvy and smart enough to not get taken. And if 9 times out of 10 they get taken and people don't know any better, right? Like, so when you leave the airport, you have the option of paying $100 for your trip to wherever you want to go, or the option of paying $10 for your trip wherever you need to get to, right? And people come in and they just like, oh, we'll get you here for this price. And some people say, sold. You know what I mean? And so it fucks everyone else along the line, right? Like they're is wanting to do it. You know, like, sure, they're not wanting to screw anyone over, like get it any cheaper than anyone else, but they just want to pay the given rate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I said,
I lost him in the bustle.
I lost him and just sort him out in that sense. But he looked like he was there to have a good time, and
well, I hope he's not doing all right.
Yeah, that's what I said. You know
what would have been dope, son? If you'd have got his number, we could have called him right now.
Oh, that'd have been way hammers, dude.
Like, what's going on?
You wanna know what? One time on a trip down into the interior of Mexico, me and my dad started. I think we caught the bus.
Dude, since you've been gone, I've seen Paul a bunch.
Oh, really?
I go running, and he's coming down that same road every time. So we're always like, because I'll be running, and I'm like, and he sees me, and he's like, but I've seen him on the same stretch every time.
Hell yeah. You know what? Like, there's something to be said about karmatic run-ins like that. Like, y'all are gonna have some who knows what to play, as Gandalf would like to say. There'll be something to play. Anyways,
So y'all went to, you and your dad? Yeah,
we went on a trip, and we ran into, well, we didn't run into, we met a girl, along the way, and she kind of, my dad's an older man, I was a young kid at the time, she kind of, I think, honed in, kind of cruised. I noticed that she was fucking tagging along at some point, and my dad was like, I think she's just trying to, cruise with,
for protective
purposes, cruise with, what appears to be decent folk, right? And I was like, because she's fucking...
I would probably do the same, I'm a man.
You know what I mean? You know, she was smart enough to know to,
very smart.
And turns out, we full on saw her in a whole other city where we wound up in that we didn't know we were going to be.
Shut up. Did she see y'all?
Yeah. We saw each other, at the grocery store. We were passing and she's like, hey. We're like, hey. It was, total randoms.
Wow.
Yeah. And my dad's like, how do you know that girl? I was like, that's the girl from the bus trip. And he's like, whoa. Yeah. So, it's a small world out there, dude. I kind of thought I would bump into him. I kind of thought I would, but we just never did. I poor guy. I don't know what happened to him, but
we're on our home stretch. But I got to take it back to the conversation I cut you off on. You were talking about on your previous trip, you ran into these chicks.
Oh yeah. So
in the Philippines.
Yeah, in the PI, and we started cruising around, and it's real easy that to be seen. We're out there, we have no problem going. We want to go eat the good stuff, right? Like I said, I'm looking to go to a nice restaurant. While I'm there, to me, a nice restaurant is going to cost me what a Mickey D's trip would cost here. No doubt about it. For real, you're gonna spend what, $7 to $10 at Mickey D's, right?
I'm a fatty. I'm about 12 to 15.
Well, there you go, right? 12 to 15. Let's call it an even 15.
I get 10-piece nuggets with that. With everything I get.
You get the drink and the fries and all that, right? It's a fucking $12 meal. Well, guess what $12 equates to over there? It's going to equate to about 600, 700 pesos. To them, over there, someone buys that meal, it's fucking extravagant.
Really?
Yeah. So, we're just taking these, and these are just simple. These are just simple chicks, right? So, we're cruising, and it comes around about, what we're spending for the hotel. And to me, we're getting a killer deal. We're only spending, $70 for the hotel a night, right? People spend $300 a night to stay in fucking Hawaii. Yeah, here, right?
Think about what people pay here to stay in a B&B.
There you go, 300, something like that, 100 a night. So we were getting a great deal, right? Well, these chicks were like, you could come, they was just ready to let us stay at their place for half the price, and their grandma would be tending to us and all this shit. They were anything that it was pretty funny. You get there and you think you're just living or doing normal, but it's extravagant in their sense, dude. To that realm, that spectrum of way the money is spent.
Do you feel there's a, like here, you know, we have so many layers of bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel like over there, we're here, you know, like I said, we're on our home stretch. If you could give us your roundabout feeling of this trip, as far as like cultural differences and everything else, like what did you get out of this? Like what was your observation of culture or just of everything? Like what give us your synopsis of it all.
Cause they have a president too that's Duterte, Rodrigo Duterte, I think I got his first name right. He's controversial, much like Trump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has his own crazy agendas where he's doing some pretty extreme stuff to some people's, you know, like dislike or like, however it may be. And that being said, I don't see much of a divide between your average Joe, your common folk, your peons, if you will, like, you know, your day-to-day folks like we are, right?
Over there?
Yeah, over there, like, there's no
hostility.
Yeah, there's no, like, divide of red, and they totally, they adopted...
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, they adopted the U.S. style of government and everything.
So there is a split. In a sense.
In a sense, right? But as far as the folks go, you don't see it. You know, there are people that are hitting the streets for their like giving agendas, like the teachers over there were asking for some stuff, the government workers were asking for some stuff, but it wasn't like a red or blue thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a like,
it was hatred based.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really something I enjoyed, because there was a lot of you know, he's strong in the political game right now, so it's kind of enveloped in you just there, right? But it wasn't a lot of like hostility about it. It was just kind of you know, like, hey, this is just general knowledge.
I wish we had that nonchalantness about it, because it is a shame that it's become what it's become.
A divide, right?
You know, I went and got my income taxes done, and sweet lady, her name was Leola. I wish I could shout out your name, but just the sweetest old lady. I mean, we're talking gray hair. You know, just a
real nice,
just a beautiful soul. You know what I mean? And she had to be every bit of her in her 60s, and she was doing my income taxes for me, and she voiced her disgruntledness about the government, but it wasn't just like a nonchalant disgruntledness. It was a heavy-hearted, like, this is a shame, you know. And I don't know if she was pro-Trump or not pro-Trump.
Yeah.
I just know that there was a real sadness to her tone about it, and I wish that we didn't have that sadness tone
right?
when we think about our government. You know what I mean?
That is sad to see that, you know, she was put out about that. In the news, because I like watch, even there, you know, they had their whole Senate or whoever they want to be talking about, like either dogging the guy or people trying to talk him up, right? But it didn't permeate throughout the day-to-day of everyone, like, moving around. I didn't see it, you know, like, people weren't wearing these crazy Duterte hats. I got a Duterte shirt, dude. I brought me one home, dude. It's
so what makes him controversial?
You know how, like, Trump had the whole, like, grab him by the pussy. He's openly talked about sexualizing women since he was... I only gather that he comes from a family of money. I don't know, right? Just like kind of knowing what I do about the way the world works.
Right, yeah.
He was talking about taking advantage of one of his housemaids at a young age. Like he lost his virginity to, you know, a housemaid he raped or something. And it was just a kind of like a shrug off of a joke to him, right? And, and stuff like that.
Entitlement.
Yeah.
Like you said, because he came from money.
Yeah, I only that's what I gather. I don't know for sure.
Look it up, guys.
If you're that interested, look it up.
You should be.
So he's made comments like that, and his drug game, his fighting the drug war over there is getting a lot of headlines, all kind of throughout. Mainly with the shabu, mainly with the meth.
I was about to ask.
They call it shabu over there.
It's cooler than meth.
It is, right? It has but it like it'll get that connotation because you'll be talking about shabu shabu, which is a style of like cooking. You do that. You do
so
that.
It can get misinterpreted.
Sometimes, like, you know, so it's just the one word, the shabu, and that's their version of meth, right? And he's real extreme, like killing motherfuckers in the streets, whole gangs of them. You know, like the Dirty Harry hitman squad of cops. He runs a crew like that. That he hears something foul. You know, like, oh, these guys are running, and it could be just some run of the mill stuff. Whole crew slain.
It's like 22 Mile with Mark Wahlberg.
You know what? I hadn't seen. I was almost gonna watch that on the plane, but I only got to see.
It's like a special forces crew. You know what I mean?
The little bit I did get to see. I
have it, dude.
Okay, badass. The little bit I did get to see, I already compared it to someone because I was trying to tell him about it. I was like, dude, it's like the new version of Eagle Eye or Enemy of the State. It's sick. You'll get all like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was just wondering what made him controversial.
It was stuff like that. You know, like his looseness about being kind of misogynist is one thing. And then, like I said, the drug wars, I want to say is another. I'm sure there's other shit, right? Like, he's been championed because he's really strong in fighting against the Abu Sayyaf, their version of Muslim terrorists in the area. So he's been pretty.
Oh wow, they have terrorists over there.
Oh yeah, they get big time. We had a bombing while I was there.
What do you mean?
A terrorist bombing while I was there, in a whole different region of the province or whatever in the area. There was a little bombing that happened, and it was terrorist related. They determined. Damn. Yeah, they get their own situation that they deal with over there.
Shit. Yeah. You got any closers for anybody?
Humanity, folks. You know me, like I say, champion the world.
Did you feel like that was something that was over there? You felt like
I felt like it was. You know what I mean? While there's the sense that people need the money, if you will, for lack of a better word, the you know, like the means to, and they're searching it out, they're trying to get it. I still think that they're looking out for the folks, the persons, the human beings. You know what I mean? I felt like they were. You know what? It's a shame to see that because there's a lot of poor. There's a lot
cream.
There's a lot
of
cream.
Cash rolls, money.
Around. That's the truth, dude. Yeah, I definitely felt like it was a. Yeah, shout out to the Woo 36 Chambers. But in its own way, because there's definitely an extreme poverty out there, which is a shame.
Something that most of us Americans don't know nothing about.
We don't see it. You know what I mean? It's so as a person that, you know, travels, it's one of those variables that I gotta try to like wrestle with in my day-to-day of it. You know what I mean? I see it like, am I gonna give every one of my dollars to this kid, that kid?
Did you give money up?
You know what I mean? I try to give food.
It's hard when you're on a trip because you don't want to shortchange yourself because you're on a trip. You don't want to leave yourself.
That's one thing, but it's another that these kids are being. You can see it. Like they run up to you. If you start looking around, right? If you look further than what, they're being run around by these adults. Like, oh, go hit that kid, go hit that person up.
It's like those kids with the chicle gum.
Yeah. It's like, go hit that person up. He might give you some money. Go hit that, and you can start to see that you're not really giving this kid any money. You're not
giving
really,
it to that much.
Yeah. That guy's using that kid for ill-gotten gain. You know what I mean, as a tool. So then you start wrestling with a whole nother. You know, it becomes pretty layered, and that's another thing where I think you yourself start to gain more knowledge about where you feel or where you stand in the like larger scope of the world and its own like trickle effect, right? You know, which is a very strong, powerful thing that people diminish unto themselves, right? Like they start to like draw their own energy in to worrying about whatever it was, like you said, rent or who knows what, right? Like they start to like lessen their energy factor, and so maybe it doesn't matter. But to a person like me that like I can't sometimes hold it back, like that shit weighs on me.
Right.
You know.
It's a shame. I really wish we were going longer because I think there's so much more to talk about. But we have to wind this down. You know, we are episode number 62. You know, and then Johnny's back and he shed some lights on his trip. You know, and I know a lot of you guys were waiting on this. They were like, man, where the fuck y'all been? I've been
sorry guys.
I've been throwing some throwback episodes from the beginning, you know, out there so people have something to watch every month.
Try to get to know and know us a little better because that was even realer back then.
Because there's a lot of old episodes that people have just not seen because they come in on episode number 40 or whatever. They missed all those first 40, you know. Yeah. So I've been throwing them out there and
good.
Yeah. Because even though, like I said, we weren't recording, there it is.
That's the mark.
That's the mark, y'all guys. So right now you're seeing right now you're going to be seeing a small but mighty. Now you're going to see a small but mighty thing here for a little bit. But you know, like I said, it's we have a lot more to talk about. Unfortunately, we were at our hour mark. You know, Johnny shed some light on the ship. Welcome him back, and we'll keep going. We'll have next week. We'll come with something else. And I know a lot of you guys saw this fish that was sitting in the background here, and I just want to give you a little quick story about this fish. Because I know you diehards that actually pay attention to every episode that we do, you're probably thinking, where did that fishbowl come from? Well, let me give you a quick little story. My daughter got her flu shots. Or actually, both of my daughters got their flu shots last week, and so I get a FaceTime call because unfortunately they don't live with me. So I guess they maybe wanted to talk to me. Maybe Erin, which is their mother, wanted me to comfort them or something because they got the flu shots, so they were crying. And so my daughter calls me and she's crying, and I'm like, what's wrong, baby? You know, why are you crying? You know? And Aaron's like, oh, they got their flu shots, you know. And so Nita's just Nita's just bawling, and I'm like fucking trying to console her. So I'm like, well, you know, don't worry about it, girl. You know, I've got it. Mommy's had her flu shot. Your grandpa's had it. Grandma's had her flu shot. Your papa, your granny, everybody's had their flu shots. Don't worry about it. It didn't work. She's like,
screw this flu shot thing.
Yeah, she just was not stopping crying, and so I was like, fuck. I almost, in slight panic, trying to think, how am I going to stop her from crying? I go, I got you a fish, baby. And she's like, she stops crying. I didn't have a fish. I didn't have a fucking fish. So, but it stopped her from crying.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I want to see the fish. And I was like, I left it at your grandma's house. I'm sorry. I left in a hurry and I forgot it there. So I had to go to Walmart and get her a fish. And so she came over the next day because this was on Thursday night. And so I get them every Friday when I have off. And I happen to just have off on this Friday, so she comes over. So Thursday night after my church meeting, I had to go get her a fish, and that's where this fish comes from. And I told her,
that's a solid dad, dude.
And I told her, hey, Mama, I go, you can go ahead and name this fish. And so for anybody who knows my daughter, you already know what she named the fish. And so welcome Nemo to the fucking crew. So from now on, we're gonna have Nemo sitting in the background here. So y'all welcome Nemo.
They're both Nemo?
No. There's a fish in there.
Oh, there's a real fish in there.
Yeah, there's Nemo and there's Dory, but there's a real fish in there. It's a beta.
Okay.
And so she named Nemo, she named the beta Nemo.
Okay.
So whenever she leaves my house, she says, bye, Nemo.
Ha!
Yeah, so that's the story of the fishbowl. So from now on, that'll be the third member of the crew.
Wow.
Like I said, this is episode number 62, y'all. Y'all guys take care of one another. As Johnny said, humanity. That is evident. So y'all guys take care of one another.
Saw me on TV. I said it wasn't easy, but right now I'm living crazy. Build ascension from the ground up. Now my hands they ain't so greasy. Feel me? Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation.